Shalom, shalom. This is Brother Yoel from the Israelite Bible Study Group, and welcome to the Children of Israel only. Welcome, Israel, to another Bible study lesson, and happy Sabbath to you all. Today's Bible study lesson is going to be called A Priest After the Order of Melchizedek. And in this Bible study lesson, we will be taking a deeper look into the order of Melchizedek. We are not necessarily going to be looking into who Melchizedek was, but we will be looking more into the order of Melchizedek. And we are going to be we're going to look to discover who was really being spoken of when the Most High's word says, "Thou art a priest after the order of Melchizedek." Who was he speaking about? Okay? Who was the Most High speaking to when he uttered those words? Okay? And even though the New Testament teaches lies and say that the Most High was speaking to Jesus Christ, aka Lucifer, when those words were uttered, that is not true. And we are going to find out who is the true priest after the order of Melchizedek. Okay? So let's not waste any time. Let's get right into it. Let's start off in Genesis chapter 14. And let's pick it up in verse 18. Genesis chapter 14 and verse 18. And Melchizedek, king of Salem, brought forth bread and wine. So Melchizedek was what? The king of Salem. Okay? So Melchizedek was a king who had dual offices, meaning he was a king and he was also a priest. And I want you to remember that, because that is a clue as to who the Most High was speaking of when he said through the psalmist, or who the Most High was speaking to when he said through the psalmist, "Thou art a priest after the order of Melchizedek." Okay? So, like I said, I want you to remember that, because it is a clue as to who the Most High was speaking to when he said through the psalmist, who prophesied in song, okay, in Psalms 110. So we will be referring back to this a little later in the lesson, okay? But let's continue. Genesis chapter 14 and verse 18, once again. And Melchizedek, king of Salem, brought forth bread and wine. And he was the priest. The what? The priest. He was what? The priest of the Most High. Okay? He was the priest of the Most High. So this king of Salem, Melchizedek, was also the priest of the Most High. Notice, he was not the high priest of the Most High. He was not the great high priest of the Most High, but he was the priest of the Most High God. Okay? That's what it says in Genesis. Let's get it one more time. Genesis chapter 14 and verse 18. And Melchizedek, king of Salem, brought forth bread and wine, and he was the priest of the Most High God. Okay? Verse 19. Genesis 14 and verse 19. And he blessed him and said, "Blessed be Abraham of the Most High God, possessor of heaven and earth." So Melchizedek did what? He blessed him. Who is him? Melchizedek blessed Abraham, who will later be called Abraham. Okay? And he said, blessed be Abram of the Most High God. So Abraham did something to help those kings back then at that time. It was not the other way around. Those kings didn't do something to help Abraham, but Abraham helped them. And also, no one can bless Abraham above what the Most High has already blessed Abraham. Matter of fact, the Most High said that he will bless him who blesses Abraham and his seed, and he will curse those who curses Abraham and his children. Okay? Abraham built altars and made sacrifices to the Most High God himself, just like a priest. Okay? Abraham did priestly things himself, and Abraham prayed to the Most High God for himself. And not only that, but the Most High God came to Abraham's house. The Most High God sat down and ate with Abraham, okay? Right in the flesh. So Abraham didn't need to give tithes to a priest. That's what I'm trying to show you here. So that a priest, he didn't give tithes to a priest so that a priest can go before the Most High God for him. Okay, Abraham didn't need to do that. That's very similar to Moses, because even though Aaron was the high priest, Moses spoke with the Most High himself. The Most High God said that he spoke to Moses face to face. So Moses didn't need Aaron to go to the Most High God for him. Even though Aaron was not just a priest, but the high priest of the Most High God. But Aaron still couldn't go to the Most High God for Moses, because Moses spoke to the Most High God face to face. Okay? Most High God spoke with Moses face to face. Let's get Genesis chapter 14 and verse 19. And he blessed him. Let me read that again. Genesis 14 and verse 19. And he blessed him and said, blessed be Abram of the Most High God, possessor of heaven and earth. Possessor equals what? Owner. So the Most High God of Israel is the possessor, the owner, the maker, the creator of the heavens and of the earth and of everything in the heavens and everything in the earth. Okay? The Most High God has made all things. Okay? Let's get that again. Genesis 14 and verse 19. And he blessed him and said, blessed be Abram of the Most High God, possessor of heaven and earth. So the Most High, who is possessor of heaven and earth, has already blessed Abram. Okay? So Melchizedek, Abram didn't need to give Melchizedek no tithe. Okay? Genesis chapter 14 and verse 20. And blessed be the Most High, which has delivered thine enemies into thine hand. And he gave him tithes of all. Okay? Right there. So here is where it gets very interesting, because it says he gave him tithes of all, meaning Melchizedek gave Abraham tithes. Here it gets very interesting, because when you go into the New Testament and you read the part that refers to this verse in Genesis chapter 14, they say in the New Testament that Abraham gave tithes to Melchizedek. But my problem with that statement or that claim is, first of all, The Torah don't say that. We just read what the Torah says. It says he gave tithes to all. It don't say Abraham gave him tithes. Why? For what? Okay? Torah don't say Abraham gave tithes to Melchizedek. And second of all, Abraham didn't have to give a priest tithes so that the priest can make sacrifices and pray to the Most High God for him. Because Abraham performed priestly acts himself. Abraham spoke regularly with the Most High God himself. So what really happened is that Melchizedek, the king of Salem, the priest, not the high priest of the Most High God, not the great high priest of the Most High God, but the priest of the Most High God, he gave tithes to Abraham. Okay? The New Testament calls Jesus Lucifer the great high priest after the order of Melchizedek. Okay? But Melchizedek was not a great high priest. You just read what Melchizedek was. He was the priest of the Most High God, because there is no such thing as a great high priest. Not in the Old or the New Testament. There's no such thing as a great high priest. There's only high priest. And then there is a priest, okay, who's under the high priest. There ain't nobody above the high priest. Between, the Most High and the high priest. There's only a high priest, and then there's a priest. So Melchizedek was not a great high priest. So how could Jesus be in order after the Melchizedek and be a great high priest? Okay? Melchizedek wasn't even a high priest. Okay? But Melchizedek was the priest of the Most High. So even though the New Testament calls Lucifer Jesus, or Jesus Lucifer, the great high priest, the Most High never said that. So that is a big fat lie. Jesus Christ, aka Lucifer, was never anointed as a king. Neither was Lucifer Jesus ever anointed as a priest. Neither was Jesus Christ, aka Lucifer, ever anointed as a high priest. Neither was Jesus Christ, aka Lucifer, ever anointed as a great high priest. Never. And anyone and everyone who says that he was anointed to be a priest or a king or a prophet or a Messiah or the only begotten Son of the Most High God of Israel or anything like that, you are nothing but a big fat liar. Okay? That's what you are, a big fat liar. Now let's go to Hebrews chapter 4. And let's read about these lies that they're going to be saying here. Okay? Hebrews chapter 4 and verse 14. Seeing then that we have a great high priest that is passed into the heavens, Jesus Christ, the Son of God, let us hold fast our profession. The Most High don't have any great high priest. He only have priest and high priest. But here in the New Testament, which is to say Lucifer's teachings and Lucifer's writings, they teach this garbage about a great high priest. But it is all made up. It is all a big fabrication. There is no such thing as a great high priest. Okay? No such thing as a great high priest. It's only a priest, and then it's a high priest. That's it. Let's get that again. Hebrews chapter 4 and verse 14. Seeing then, we have a great high priest that is passed into the heavens, Jesus Christ, the Son of God. Let us hold fast our profession. Jesus Christ is not the Son of the Most High God. We got videos on that too. Okay? The Most High God never, and I mean never, not even one time, ever mentioned that he had a son named Jesus Christ. The Most High God calls the children of Israel his son. Okay? And the Most High God calls King David his begotten son. The Most High don't say anything about Jesus Christ, and he's never said anything about Jesus Christ at all. Not even one time. Okay? And also, Jesus Christ, aka Lucifer, is not the great high priest. The Most High God never said that he had a great high priest. The Most High God only appointed a high priest, and there was only one high priest at a time. Okay? And Melchizedek was not a high priest, neither was he a great high priest. He was only the priest of the Most High God. The Most High never said anything about having a great high priest. There is no such thing as a great high priest. That's a lie. So you can clearly see that the New Testament be lying left and right. And all of the lies that they tell is only, they only tell you those lies to get you to honor, to worship, and to serve their idol in that New Testament. Who is that idol? Jesus Christ, aka Lucifer. They want you to be a Luciferian. That's why they're teaching you that junk. Okay? Hebrews chapter 4 and verse 15. For we have not an high priest. Now they tell him a high priest. For we have not an high priest which cannot be touched with the feelings of our infirmities, but was in all points tempted like as we are, yet without sin. So in the very next verse, where they first say he's a great high priest, they said he's a high priest. Okay? Now they calling him a high priest because they are lying. They're not consistent. So is he a great high priest or is he a high priest? Okay? Let me tell you who he is. He is neither one of those things because he is nothing. He was never anointed priest, high priest, Messiah, none of that. Okay? Let's continue. Hebrews chapter 4 and verse 16. Let us therefore come boldly unto the throne of grace, that we may obtain mercy and find grace to help in time of need. Let's read that again. Hebrews chapter 4 and verse 16. Let us therefore come boldly. I don't think you want to do that. I do not think that you want to come boldly before the Most High. Don't listen to these New Testament fools telling you to come boldly before the presence of the Most High God. That would be total disrespect to the Most High God, because you are to come before the Most High God with humility. You're to humble yourself before the Most High God, not come boldly before Him. Coming boldly before the Most High God is self-confidence, and it is pride. And the Most High God hates pride. Okay? Proverbs chapter 9 and verse 10. The fear of the Lord is the beginning of wisdom. You hear that? And the knowledge of the holy is understanding. Okay? You have to come fearfully before the Most High God. Okay? If you have anything that you might understand about the Most High, it is that He has order. He has a way of doing things. And you cannot come before Him any kind of way. You cannot come boldly before the Most High. That is wrong to do that, okay? Proverbs chapter 1 and verse 7. The fear of the Lord is the beginning of knowledge. That's when you first get knowledge, you know you got to come humbly before him. But fools, Fools despise wisdom and instruction. It is in your best interest to fear, honor, respect the Most High God. The Most High God said that he hates pride. Pride comes before every fall. Okay? If you come boldly before the Most High, you're about to fall. So don't be proud. The Most High God said, you shall have no other gods before him. So don't serve, worship, or honor, or pray to, or mention the name of any other gods beside the Most High God of Israel. Okay? Fools are going to reject the knowledge and wisdom of the Most High God's commands. Okay? And fools are going to add Jesus Christ, aka Lucifer, to the Most High God, on the side of the Most High God, and say that they got to come to him before they can get to the Most High God. And they say that Lucifer, Jesus, is the Most High God's son. They're going to pray. These are fools. Fools are going to pray to Lucifer, Jesus, and serve Lucifer, Jesus, in those Christian churches. And I know what I'm talking about because I myself was a fool when I was in those churches, in those Christian churches, and serving that idol, Jesus Christ, aka Lucifer. Fools are going to echo what this stupid New Testament says, and they're going to get their butts destroyed. Let's get Proverbs chapter 1 and verse 7 once again. The fear of the Lord is the beginning of knowledge. But fools despise wisdom and instruction. Fools don't have the fear of the Most High. Fools are very disrespectful to the Most High, because the New Testament teaches them to be disrespectful to the Most High. And then when somebody comes telling them the truth, they don't want to hear them. Okay? Hebrews chapter 4 and verse 16. Let us therefore come boldly before the throne of grace. The New Testament is telling you to do something that will get you destroyed. It will get you killed by the Most High. The New Testament, which is to say, Jesus, Lucifer's teachings, they teach you to disrespect the Most High. And they teach you to honor Jesus Christ, aka Lucifer. They teach you they teach you in that stupid book to be disrespectful to the Most High God, because you cannot come boldly before the Most High. You cannot come before the Most High any way that you want to come before him. That is not wise, okay? That is not wise at all. They are lying to you in the New Testament. Let's go to Exodus chapter 19 so you can see that they're lying to you. Exodus chapter 19, and let's pick it up in verse 10. And the Lord said unto Moses, Go unto the people, sanctify them today and tomorrow, and let them wash their clothes. Okay? You see that? Wash your clothes. Verse 11. And be ready against the third day. For the third day the Lord will come down in the sight of all the people upon Mount Sinai. Moses is coming down on a vehicle, and he's going to land right on top of Mount Sinai. Verse 12. And thou shalt set bounds unto the people round about, saying, take heed to yourselves, that ye go not up into the mount, or touch the border of it. Whosoever touches the mount shall surely be put to death. They shall be what? Put to death. So you can't just come boldly before the Most High God. He said, you come, say somebody would have been not listening to what Moses said and came boldly and touched that mount, they would have been surely put to death. Verse 13, Exodus 19 and verse 13. There shall not a hand touch it. You hear that? Put your little nasty hand on there and see what happens. But he shall surely be stoned or shot through, whether it be beast or man. It shall not live. You hear that? When the trumpet sounded long, they shall come up to the mount. Exodus 19 and 14. And Moses went down from the mount unto the people, and sanctified the people, and they washed their clothes. And he said unto them, verse 15, and he said unto the people, be ready against the third day. Come not at your wives. Don't even touch your wives. Verse 16. And it came to pass on the third day in the morning that there were thunders and lightnings and a thick cloud upon the mount, and the voice of the trumpet exceeding loud, so that all the people that was in the camp trembled. They did what? They trembled. So you can't come boldly before the Most High God. These people tremble. So they didn't come boldly before the Most High God. No. Because you don't come boldly before the Most High God. You must be out of your mind, man. Listening to this garbage in the New Testament. Can't come boldly before the Most High God. Exodus 19 and verse 17. And Moses brought forth the people out of the camp to meet with God. And they stood at the nether part of the mount. Verse 18, Exodus 19 and 18. And Mount Sinai was altogether on a smoke, because the Lord had descended in that vehicle upon it in fire. Fire coming out of that vehicle. And the smoke thereof ascended as the smoke of a furnace, and the whole mount quaked greatly. Verse 19, Exodus 19:19. And when the voice of the trumpet sounded long and waxed louder and louder, Moses spake, and God answered him by a voice. Verse 20, and the Lord came down upon Mount Sinai on the top of the mount, and the Lord called Moses up to the mount, to the top of the mount, and Moses went up. Exodus 19 and 21. And the Lord said unto Moses, go down, charge the people, lest they break through unto the Lord to gaze, and many of them perish. So many of them do what? Perish. So if you come boldly before the Most High God, you will perish. You can't come before him any kind of way. But he tells you, wash your clothes. There's certain things that the Most High God requires to be done before you can come before him. You can't just come boldly before him. You will perish, meaning he will kill you. That's what it means. He will kill you. Exodus chapter 19 and verse 22. And let the priests also, even if you're a priest, let the priests also which come near to the Lord sanctify themselves, lest the Lord break forth upon them and do what? Kill their behinds. Even if you are a priest. Exodus 19 and verse 23. So don't listen to the New Testament telling you come boldly before the Most High God. Exodus 19 and verse 23. And Moses said unto the Lord, the people cannot come up to the Mount Sinai, for thou chargest us, saying, set bounds about the mount and sanctify it. Exodus 19 and verse 24. And the Lord said unto Moses, away, get thee down, and thou shalt come up, thou and Aaron with thee. But let not the priests and the people break through to come up unto the Lord, lest he break forth upon them and do what? Kill them. Exodus chapter 19 and verse 25. So Moses went down unto the people and spake unto them. So you can clearly see that you cannot come boldly before the Most High God and still live. He will kill you. So don't listen to this garbage in Hebrews, okay? They lying. I hope you can see this. At least I hope that our children, the children of Israel, can see this. Even if the other people can't. If the other people can't, don't worry. The Most High going to destroy them anyway. Hebrews chapter 5 and verse 1. For every high priest taken from among men is ordained for men in things pertaining to God, that he may offer both gifts and sacrifices for sins. High priests are not just taken from among men, okay? As Lucifer's teachers are teaching, because to be a high priest, you first have to be born a Levite, okay? Your mother and father had to be a Levite from the tribe of Levi. Aaron, Moses' brother, and Moses, they were both Levites, okay? And Aaron, Moses' brother, was the first high priest, okay, that is mentioned in the scriptures. And Aaron's sons were the priests under him. And there is only one high priest, that's doing everything at a time. So when when that high priest dies, then there's another high priest who comes up. But they are only from the tribe of Levi. Okay, that's it. And then when that one dies, there's another one, and so forth and so on. Okay, that's how it works. But the New Testament is saying something totally different. Hebrews chapter 5 and verse 1 again. For every high priest taken from among men is ordained for men in things pertaining to God, that he may offer both gifts and sacrifices for sins. So Jesus Christ, aka Lucifer, was never anointed a king. Jesus Christ, aka Lucifer, was never anointed as a high priest. Or Jesus Christ, aka Lucifer, was never anointed as a priest or anything at all. Okay? Jesus Christ, aka Lucifer, was not from the tribe of Levi. He was not even a Hebrew Israelite. They lie in the New Testament and say that he was from the tribe of Judah, but that's even a lie. He was not even a Hebrew Israelite. Okay, neither the Most High or any of his prophets have ever said not even one word about a Jesus Christ at all. Lucifer, Jesus, never offered gifts and sacrifices for sins. That is a big, fat, Christian, Luciferian lie. Okay? Big fat lie. Hebrews chapter 5 and verse 2. Who can have compassion on the ignorant? No, he don't. He don't have compassion on the ignorant, but what he do to the ignorant is that he deceived the ignorant Christians with his lies, okay? He do many things that the Most High never commanded him to do. a whole bunch of things that the Most High God never said do. Okay, in the law, he's just lying. Okay, let's go to John chapter 5 and verse 19. Then answered Jesus and said unto them, Verily, verily, or truly, truly, verily, verily, I say unto you, the Son the Son can do nothing of himself, but what he seeth the Father do. For what things soever he doeth, these also doeth the Son likewise. So he's saying he don't do anything of his own. Everything that he do as he see the Father do. Okay? What a big fat lie. That ain't nothing but a lie. Lucifer don't do anything that the Most High God does. Okay? He is very disrespectful to the Most High God. Very, very disrespectful to the Most High God. Hebrews chapter 5 and verse 2. Who can have compassion on the ignorant and on them that are out of the way? For that he himself also is compassed with infirmity. So let's get this whole thing straight. You are Jesus Christ, the supposed Son of the Most High God. You are seated on God's throne, right next to the Most High God. All power is given, all power in heaven and earth is given into your hands. You help the Most High God create everything, and you and the Most High are one. If we have seen you, we have seen the Most High. And you can't do anything of yourself. You only do what you see the Father do. Is that right? Let's see. When the Most High saved his people out of the land of Egypt, the first time, in the first Egypt, okay? Because we're in the second Egypt right now. We're in the new Egypt today. In that first time, though, when the Most High delivered his people out of Egypt, saved them out of Egypt, he destroyed the Egyptians. He destroyed their enemies. He delivered them out of Egypt, and brought them into the wilderness and eventually into the promised land. Okay? He delivered them all out. And while he did all of those things, he still remained who he was. Who was that? He was the Most High. He continued to be the same, the same Most High. He didn't become humble, and he didn't have to die, and he didn't have to learn obedience, and he didn't have to let his creation beat all of the blood out of his body. No, he remained the same as he was. Okay? He didn't have to learn obedience and have the same infirmities as the people that he is supposedly saving and stuff like that. That's all garbage. Let's get that again. Hebrews chapter 5 and verse 2. All the Most High God did was destroy those enemies and deliver his people. Period. Okay? Hebrews chapter 5 and verse 2. Who can have compassion on the ignorant and on them that are out of the way? For that he himself also is compassed with infirmity. Hebrews chapter 5 and verse 3. And by reason thereof he ought, as for the people, so also for himself, you hear that, to offer for sins. So in this verse, they are saying that Jesus Christ was a sinner, and he need to offer sacrifices for himself and for the people for sins. Okay? Hebrews chapter 5 and verse 4. And no man taketh this honor unto himself. Well, Lucifer, Jesus did. He took this honor unto himself. He exalted himself because the Most High God never anointed him or ordained him to be a great high priest, a high priest, or a priest. But Lucifer is doing all of this on his own. Now let's document that. Let's go to Isaiah chapter 14. Excuse me. Excuse me. Isaiah chapter 14. And let's pick it up in verse 12. How art thou fallen from heaven, O Lucifer, son of the morning? How art thou cut down to the ground, which didst weaken the nations? Verse 13, Isaiah 14 and verse 13. For thou hast said in thine heart, he said how? In his heart, I will ascend into heaven. I will exalt my throne above the stars of God. I will sit also upon the mount of the congregation in the sides of the north. Verse 14, I will ascend above the heights of the clouds, and I will be like the Most High. Who can hear that? Right here, you see Lucifer Jesus saying that he is going to exalt himself. Okay? Now, let's go to the New Testament and see him exalt himself. Okay? Revelation chapter 22 and verse 16. I, Jesus, have sent my angel to testify. Not God's angel. God made everything in heaven and earth. The Most High God made everything in heaven and earth. He's talking about he got some angels. I, Jesus, have sent my angels to testify unto you these things in the churches. God didn't say nothing about no darn churches. I am the root and the offspring of David. No, you are not. You ain't got nothing to do with David. David ain't never said nothing about you. Neither did any of the prophets or the Most High or nobody. You are not nothing but David. Not King David of the tribe of Judah, the king, our king. Let me read that again. Revelation 22 and verse 16. I, Jesus, have sent my angel to testify unto you these things in the churches. I am the root and the offspring of David, and the bright morning star. See that? He is the bright morning star, or the light of the world. He called himself in other parts. AKA Lucifer, like I said, the light bearer, the light of the world. Jesus Christ, AKA Lucifer. That's who he is. He's telling you who he is. But you know, your mind is so blinded by it, you can't see it. But he's exalting himself, saying he got angels and all that. Colossians chapter 1 and verse 12. Giving thanks unto the Father, which has made us meet to be partakers of the inheritance of the saints in light. And what? In light. Light of the world. Bright morning star. Okay? And light, which is in Lucifer Jesus. Okay? Colossians 1 and 13. Who has delivered us from the power of darkness and has translated us into the kingdom of his dearest Son. This is another big fat lie, but let's continue. Colossians chapter 1 and verse 14. In whom we have redemption through his blood, even the forgiveness of sins. No, you don't. You don't have no redemption. The Most High God said that he will never justify the wicked. Okay? You Christians who are teaching these lies, y'all are the wicked, and your sins are not forgiven. According to the Most High God, he's going to destroy y'all. Don't listen to this lie. Any of the children of Israel, if you're in those Christian churches, you need to get out of there and come back to the Most High God. Come back to the Torah and compare the Torah with what is written in this New Testament, okay? Colossians chapter 1 and verse 15. Who is the image of the invisible God? Yeah, right. You wish the Most High God was invisible. You wish he was invisible, but he is not invisible. The Most High God is not invisible because Father Abraham saw the Most High God. The Most High God came to Abraham's house, sat down with Abraham, and the Most High God ate and everything with Father Abraham. Okay? So the Most High God is not invisible, but they wish he was invisible so he won't tear their behinds up. And also, another one of our family members, Moses, saw the Most High. Okay? He saw the Most High God. And the Most High God said that he spoke with Moses face to face. And also the tribe of Levi saw the Most High God. It's written right in the scriptures, okay? Right in the Torah. So the New Testament, Paul, Peter, John, Matthew, Mark, Luke, all of them, okay? Timothy, all of them. Jesus, all of them are lying, saying that the Most High God is invisible. They ain't nothing but big fat liars. Colossians chapter 1 and verse 15. Who is the image of the invisible God, the firstborn of every creature? Now, here they got that right because Jesus Christ, aka Lucifer, is a creature. Okay? He is a beast of the field. He is not the image of the Most High. Okay? He's not the image of the Most High God, but he is the image of the beast. Right there. Colossians chapter 1 and verse 16. For by him were all things created that are in heaven and that are in earth, visible and invisible. That's why they're trying to say the Most High is invisible. Because they're trying to say that Jesus Christ is over the Most High God, but he is not. For by him, Colossians chapter 1 and verse 16, for by him were all things created that are in heaven and that are in earth, visible and invisible. And you see that the Most High God, that they saying that the Most High God was invisible. They lying. Whether they be thrones, again, Lucifer is very disrespectful to the Most High God. Okay? Because the Most High God has thrones. And they say, have a throne. And they said whether they be thrones. So they saying that the Most High God is invisible. And they saying that Jesus Christ is over the Most High God. And they saying even if it's a throne, they saying that he's over that. Okay? They are lying. Whether they be thrones or dominions or principalities or powers. They saying all things were created by him. By who? Lucifer, Jesus, and for him. Lucifer, Jesus is a liar. And those that's writing this garbage are liars. Okay? Let's document that. Let's prove. Let's verify that they are nothing but liars. Isaiah chapter 44 and verse 24. They say everything was made by Lucifer and for Lucifer, right? Let's go to Isaiah 44 and 24. Thus saith the Lord, thy Redeemer. This is the Most High speaking to us, the children of Israel. Thus saith the Lord, thy Redeemer. The Most High God is our Redeemer, and there ain't no other that can redeem anybody. And he that formed thee from the womb, I am the Lord, that maketh all things, that stretcheth forth the heavens alone. That stretcheth forth the heaven how? Alone. That stretcheth forth the heavens how? Alone. No Jesus, no nothing, no Lucifer, they lying. That spreadeth abroad the earth by myself. Okay? He said that everything was made by him and for him and all that garbage. So Lucifer lied and said that all things were made by him and for him. He's a liar. Let's go back to this lying book, New Testament, and get Colossians chapter 1 and verse 17. And he is before all things. You hear that lie? And by him all things consist. No, it don't. Colossians chapter 1 and verse 18. And he is the head of the body, the church, who is the beginning of the firstborn from the dead. How can you say that you've created all things and you've been dead? Come on now. You're firstborn from the dead. What a big fat lie. That is, that in all things he might have the preeminence. No, he don't. He don't have any preeminence. That is just Lucifer trying to exalt himself. Like he said, I will exalt myself. He's a liar. Colossians chapter 1 and verse 19. For it pleased the Father that in him should all fullness dwell. No, it did not. Let's document this again. Let's expose this lie again. Go back to Isaiah chapter 44. Let's pick it up in verse 6. Thus saith the Lord, the King of Israel, and his Redeemer, the Most High God is our Redeemer, the Lord of hosts. I am the first and I am the last, and beside me there is no God. Who can hear that? Okay, let's skip down to verse 8, Isaiah 44 and verse 8. Fear ye not, neither be afraid. Have not I told thee from that time, and have declared it? Ye are even my witnesses. All you got to do is go back to the Old Testament and you can witness that there is there a God before me? Yea, there is no God, I know not any. We go back into the Torah and you're going to see there is no other God beside the Most High God. Okay? There is, I know not any. There ain't any. Lucifer said that it pleased the Most High God to give Lucifer, Jesus, everything, the whole fullness of everything, all of God's power and everything. But the Most High God said that he don't know of any other. So Lucifer, Jesus Christ is what? A liar. Now let's go back to Hebrews chapter 5 and listen to some more of these stupid lies and expose them. Hebrews chapter 5 and verse 4. And no man taketh this honor unto himself, but he that is called of God, as was Aaron. Yes, Aaron was absolutely called by the Most High God, but not Lucifer. Not Lucifer, Jesus. Jesus Christ, he was not called by the Most High to be a priest or to be anything. The Most High didn't call him at all. But Jesus Christ is a liar. Hebrews chapter 5 and verse 5. So also Christ glorified not himself to be made a high priest. Yes, he did. Yes, he did. He glorified himself to be called the high priest. They are lying. Lucifer, Jesus glorifies himself big time. You've been seeing it all along, and you're going to see it some more. Let's go to John chapter 14, and let's see him exalt himself. Watch this. John chapter 14, and let's pick it up in verse 5. Thomas saith unto him, Lord, we know not whither thou goest, and how can we know the way? Watch him exalt himself. Watch him not give any honor to the Most High God at all, when he said that he do everything that the Most High God tell him to do. John chapter 14 and verse 6. Jesus said unto him, I am the way. Not the Most High. Not the Most High's laws or nothing. I am the way, the truth, and the life. I'm the truth. I'm the life. Okay? I am the way. I'm the truth. And I'm the life. A big lie. No man cometh unto the Father but by me. Right here, Lucifer, Jesus Christ, is glorifying himself. He is not glorifying the Most High God, because the truth is the law. Okay? Psalms 119 and 142. Okay? The truth is the law. Okay? But Lucifer, Jesus, is glorifying himself, and he is not glorifying the Most High God, because the truth, like I said, is the law. The truth is that the Most High is the way. Okay? The Most High is the way. And what he says in his law and in his prophets is the truth. And the Most High said, thou shalt have no other God before me. Okay? No other God before me. But Lucifer, Jesus, is putting himself before the Most High God. And he said that he and the Most High God are the same. And he said, if you want to come before the Most High God, you got to come. If you want to come to the Most High God, you got to come through him. That's what he's saying. He's lying. The Most High God, he's saying that him and the Most High God are the same. If you have seen me, you have seen the Father. That's what he said to Thomas. Okay? If he is the same as the Most High God, then that will make him a God. If he's the same as the Most High God, then that will make him a God, right? And if you have to go through him to get to the Most High God, then what that would make, what that would do, that would have you going, putting another God before the Most High. Okay? So he's a liar. He do exalt himself above the Most High God. John chapter 14 and verse 7. If ye had known me, ye should have known my Father also. And from henceforth you know him and have seen him. I hope you can see that Jesus Christ is Lucifer. Just looking at these verses right here. Okay? Let's read that once again. John chapter 14 and verse 7. If ye had known me, ye should have known my Father also. And from henceforth ye know him and have seen him. Really? Let's go back to Isaiah and let's pick it up in chapter 45 and let's pick it up in verse 5. Isaiah chapter 45 and verse 5. I am the Lord, and there is none else. There is what? None else. There is what? None else. There is no God beside me. Right there. Okay? So you see he's lying. Go back to John chapter 14. Let's pick it up in verse 8. Philip said unto him, Lord, show us the Father, and it suffices us. Verse 9. Jesus said unto him, have I been so long time with you? Calling his own self the Most High. Have I been so long time with you, and yet thou hast not known me, Philip? He that hath seen me has seen the Father. And how sayest thou, show us the Father? This guy be telling big lies. Okay? Back to Isaiah chapter 46. And let's pick it up in verse 9. Remember the former things of old. That's why you got to go back to the Old Testament. I mean, you got to really study the Old Testament and read it and listen to what it's saying and compare it with the New Testament so you can see that this guy be lying. Isaiah chapter 46 and verse 9. Remember the former things of old, for I am God. And when you go back to the former things of old, you ain't see no Jesus Christ, Lucifer at all. And there is none else. Yes, Most High, there's none else. I am God, and there is none like me. See, I told you, Lucifer Jesus glorified himself, saying he's like the Most High. He said, I will be like the Most High. Okay? So you can see, just like I told you, that Lucifer Jesus glorifies himself big time. In Isaiah chapter 14, he said, I will be like the Most High. And the Most High God said, there is none like me. And in John chapter 14, he said, I'm just like the Father. If you've seen me, you've seen the Father. Liar. Hebrews chapter 5 and verse 5. So also Christ glorified not himself to be made an high priest, but he that saith unto him, thou art my son, today have I begotten thee. They are taking something, again, in the New Testament, they are taking something that was quoted by the Most High to our king, King David. And they are applying it to Lucifer Jesus. So let's go to Psalms chapter 2 and let's read of the Lord's anointed King David. Psalms chapter 2 and verse 2. The kings of the earth set themselves, and the rulers take counsel together against the Lord and against his anointed, saying, verse 3, let us break their bands asunder and cast their cords from us. Verse 4, he that sitteth in the heavens shall laugh. The Most High God gonna laugh at these people or these things. The Lord shall have them in derision. Psalm chapter 2 and verse 5. Then shall he speak unto them in his wrath. He's going to speak to them with wrath and vex them in his sore displeasure. You're going to see how pleased the Most High is once he's going to bring that wrath upon them. Psalms 2 and verse 6. Yet have I set my king upon my holy hill of Zion. That is King David. Psalms 2 and 7. I will declare the decree. The Lord has said unto me. He said unto who? Unto me. Thou art my son. This day have I begotten thee. And they try to say that this is talking about Lucifer, Jesus, but this is a psalm of King David. King David is the one who wrote this psalm. Okay? So the Lord has said unto who? Me, King David. Not Lucifer, Jesus. Not Jesus Christ. Not Lucifer or Jesus, aka Lucifer. Jesus didn't write any psalms. None of the psalms is referring to him at all. Not even one. He never wrote a psalm. The Levites wrote psalms. Solomon wrote stuff, you know, and David and Moses. Not Jesus. No, none of the psalms said the psalm of Jesus. None of them. Okay, not Jesus, aka Lucifer. Jesus didn't write any psalms. If he did, it would be written and read, because all of the words that he wrote or spoke were written and read. Why is that? Probably because his own creation supposedly, his supposedly own creation beat the blood out of his body, okay? And they did it for no reason. And even no reason did they beat the blood out of his body, because he has not, nor can he save anybody. He ain't saved nobody. Nobody has been saved from his beating all the blood out of his body. And he have not taken away anybody's sins, because Christians are sinning left and right. They still sinning all over the place. And the world is still full of sin. So all that beating and everything for nothing. Jesus has not saved anybody. He has not delivered anybody. Okay? And people are still getting sick. People are still dying everywhere. Okay? He said, behold, I come quickly. Yet it has been, what? 2,500 years and counting since he's been dead. But he's still saying that he coming quickly. That's a lie. That is a lie. He ain't coming quickly. I mean, 2,500 years is not coming quickly. Okay? Hebrews chapter 5 and verse 6. As he said also in another place, thou art a priest forever after the order of Melchizedek. Again, Lucifer, Jesus, and his butt buddies keep lying and saying, taking quotes from Torah, and that are speaking of someone else in Torah, and they are applying it to Lucifer, Jesus, when it has nothing, absolutely nothing to do with Jesus Christ at all. At all. And we're going to document that. We're almost done here, okay? Let's go back to Hebrews chapter 5, and let's pick it up in verse 7. Who in the days of his flesh, when he had offered up prayers and supplications with strong crying and tears unto him that was able to save him from death, and was heard in that he feared. Hebrews chapter 5 and verse 8. Though he were a son, yet learned he obedience by the things which he suffered. So he supposedly had all that knowledge, all that wisdom to create the heavens and the earth. He supposedly is the Most High's only begotten Son. He supposedly have all the knowledge, yet he was too stupid to know about obedience, that he had to learn obedience. Come on. And this is the Savior of the world. Are you serious? Wow. Let's go to Hebrews chapter 5 and verse 9. And being made perfect, he became the author of eternal salvation unto all them that obey him. Not obey the Most High God, but obey him. He is lying. If you obey him, the Most High God is going to destroy you. Okay? That's a lie. Isaiah chapter 45. Let's document the lie. Every time I say it's a lie, I'm going to go right to Isaiah. Isaiah chapter 45 and verse 17. But Israel shall be saved in the Lord with an everlasting salvation. So the Most High God is your Savior. You shall be saved in the Most High. If you obey Lucifer, Jesus, you're going to be destroyed. Isaiah chapter 45 and verse 17. I don't see why you can't see this. Because you're not of Israel. That's why you can't see it. But Israel shall be saved in the Lord, in the Most High, with an everlasting salvation. You shall not be ashamed nor confounded, world without end. Lucifer, aka Jesus Christ, is not, I repeat, he is not the author of eternal salvation. That is a lie. That title belongs solely, only to the Most High, the Most Holy One, the Most High, our God. That title belongs to him and him alone. Okay? That title belongs to the Most High God only. He is the author of eternal salvation, not Lucifer, Jesus. But what did Lucifer say in his heart in Isaiah chapter 14? Don't forget that. He said, I will be like the Most High. But he's not like the Most High. Okay? He ain't nothing but a liar. Because the Most High said Israel shall be saved with an everlasting salvation in a world that will never end. And that's a world to come, okay? Not this world that we see right now, but it is the same earth, okay? We're going to be living on the same earth. The Most High God coming to this earth and to dwell with us, okay? And King David is going to be our king forever. Isaiah is all written in the scriptures, okay? Isaiah chapter 45 and verse 22. Look unto me and be ye saved. Not Lucifer, Jesus. Look unto me and be ye saved, all the ends of the earth. All you Israelites who are spread all over this earth, look unto the Most High to be saved. For I am God, and there is none else. So the Most High God said, only look to him to be saved, because there is none else. Okay? Isaiah 45 and verse 23. I have sworn by myself, the word is going out of my mouth in righteousness, and shall not return, that unto me every knee shall bow and every tongue shall swear. Swear to who? The Most High, not Jesus, Lucifer. Let's go back to Hebrews chapter 5, and let's pick it up in verse 9. And being made perfect, he became the author of eternal salvation unto all them that obey him. Verse 10, called of God a high priest after the order of Melchizedek. Here again, the New Testament is lying. They have taken something from Torah that was speaking of someone else, and that has nothing to do with Jesus Christ. And they are applying it to Jesus Christ. But like I said, they are teaching a big fat lie. Let's go to Psalms 110 and let's prove that they are lying. Psalms chapter 110 and verse 1, a psalm of David. The Lord said unto my Lord, sit thou at my right hand until I make thy enemies thy footstool. Okay? And you can see that at the beginning of this psalm, it said they say that it is a psalm of David. That's what it says. It's a psalm of David, and it is a psalm of David, but it is not a psalm that is written by King David. However, it is a psalm of David, or a psalm that is written of King David. Okay? It is a psalm that the writer is writing and speaking about King David. And bear with me, you're going to see this. Let's pause here and go to, let's stop here in Psalms 110 and let's go to Psalms 72 and let's pick it up in verse 20. The prayers of King David, or the prayers of David, the son of Jesse, are ended. Okay? The prayers of David, son of Jesse, are ended. So prayer here means psalms. Okay? Prayer definition. Okay? It's in the Strong's Concordance. Let's go to H8605. Okay? It is Tefillah, okay? From H64:19, intercession, supplication, by implication, a hymn. Can you see that? It's a hymn, a psalm, prayer. Let's get the psalm definition. Psalm definition, a sacred song or hymn, right there. So the psalm that David wrote, it ended in 72, Psalm 72. But there are other psalms of David, meaning psalms that are referring to David, that are written after that. Okay. So the other psalms that are written of David were written by those who were of the host of Levites, who were separated to the service of the Most High, and they were musicians. So let's document that, okay? Let's go to 1 Chronicles chapter 25. 1 Chronicles chapter 25. And let's pick it up in verse 1. Moreover, David and the captains of the host separated to the service the sons of Asaph, and of Heman, and of Jeduthun, who should prophesy with harp. They did what? Prophesy. They was prophesying with harps and with psalteries and with cymbals. Okay? They were doing what? They were prophesying with those instruments and with those words that the Most High God was giving them. Okay? And these hosts of musicians, all of them were from the tribe of Levi only. Okay? Because only the tribe of Levi, the priestly tribe, can work in the service of the Most High God of Israel. Okay? They also wrote Psalms. So Psalms 110 is a psalm that is written by one of them. But it is speaking of King David. It's prophesying about King David. That is why it is called a Psalm of David. Okay? And many times in the scriptures, they refer to King David as my Lord, the King, or just simply my Lord. Okay? So let's go back to Psalms 110. Psalms 110, a Psalm of David. The Lord said unto my Lord. Okay? This is the writer of Psalms saying the Most High said unto his Lord, the King, meaning unto David, sit thou at my right hand until I make thy enemies thy footstool. This is not King David writing this psalm. This is one of those who were given to the service of the Most High who was writing this psalm. Okay? This is one of the magicians, a Levite, who was writing this psalm. Okay? And this psalm is written about King David. So let's continue. Psalms 110 and verse 2. The Lord shall send the rod of thy strength out of Zion. Rule thou in the midst of thy enemies. He said what? Rule thou. Only a king can rule. Okay? Who is the Most High's anointed? The Most High's anointed is King David. He said King David, and you know King David was anointed as king. We can document that in the scriptures. Okay? So he said, rule thou. So the Most High God anointed King David to rule. And he said, King David shall rule over his people forevermore. That's what the Most High God said. Psalms 110 and verse 3. Thy people shall be willing in the day of thy power, in the beauties of holiness from the womb of the morning. Thou hast the dew of thy youth. Verse 4. The Lord has sworn. The Lord has done what? The Lord has sworn. Who did the Most High God swear to? Or swear about? Let's go to Psalms 89. We document everything we say. Psalms 89 and verse 34. My covenant will I not break, nor alter the thing that has gone out of my lips. Psalms 89 and verse 35. Once have I sworn by my holiness that I will not lie unto David. Unto who? David. Unto who? David. I will not lie unto David. So Psalm 110 and verse 4 is speaking of none other than King David, who the Most High God swore by his holiness that he would not lie unto David. He would not deceive David, and telling him that he's going to rule and then he'd not rule. The Most High God said he would not lie unto David. Okay? The Most High God never said nothing like this about Jesus Christ. He said, Psalms 110 and verse 4 is speaking of none other than King David, not unto Jesus. Okay? So the lying New Testament is trying to have you to believe that it's speaking of Jesus Christ when it is actually speaking of King David. Let's go back to Psalms 110 and verse 4. The Lord has sworn, and you've seen that he said, I swore that I will not lie to David and will not repent. Thou art a priest, King David, forever after the order of Melchizedek. Melchizedek was a king, and so was David. Melchizedek was a king, and Melchizedek was a priest. And King David was a king, and King David was also a priest and doing priestly things. Yes, King David also made sacrifices on the altar just like a priest did. Okay? And let's go. Let's document that. Let's go to 2 Samuel. And let's see King David build an altar and also make sacrifices for Israel. Let's see him doing that. Okay? 2 Samuel chapter 24, and let's pick it up in verse 18. And Gad came, that's a prophet, Gad came that day to David and said unto him, Go up, rear up an altar unto the Lord in the threshing floor of Araunah, the Jebusite. Verse 19, 2 Samuel 24 and 19. And David, according to the saying of Gad, went up as the Lord commanded. Verse 20. And Araunah looked and saw the king and his servants coming on toward him. And Araunah went out and bowed himself before the king on his face upon the ground. 2 Samuel 24 and verse 21. And Araunah said, Wherefore is my lord the king come to his servant? And King David said, and David said, to buy the threshing floor of thee, to build an altar unto the Lord, that the plague may be stayed from the people. 2 Samuel 24 and 22. And Araunah said unto David, Let my lord the king take and offer up what seemeth good unto him. Behold, here be oxen for burnt sacrifices, and threshing instruments, and other instruments of the oxen for wood. 2 Samuel 24 and verse 23. All these things did Araunah as a king give unto the king. And Araunah said unto the king, The Lord thy God accept thee. 2 Samuel 24 and verse 24. And the king said unto Araunah, Nay, but I will surely buy it of thee. So he was trying to give it to David. David said, No, I will surely buy it. King David said, I will buy it of thee at a price. Neither will I offer burnt offerings unto the Lord my God of that which does cost me nothing. It don't cost me nothing. I can't do that. No. So David brought the threshing floor and the oxen for 50 shekels of silver. 2 Samuel 24 and verse 25. And David built an altar. David did what? David built an altar. David did what? David built there an altar unto the Lord, and offered burnt offerings and peace offerings. So the Lord was entreated for the land, and the plague was stayed from Israel. King David built an altar unto the Lord and offered burnt offerings and peace offerings unto the Most High. And the Most High God heard and was entreated of him. Jesus Christ, aka Lucifer, has never did that. Of course, some stupid Christians are going to say something like, yeah, but he died and covered all of that, and his death was the offering. No, that is a lie, because even before his fake death, he still was not a king, or ordained or anointed as a king. He still didn't do any priestly duties. He didn't build no altars and make no sacrifices or nothing. And he didn't keep any of the Most High God's laws. Jesus Christ, aka Lucifer, was never, ever anointed as a king. There was no record of him being anointed as a king or as a priest, or anything like that. The New Testament, they just say it. They say that he was anointed, but there is no record where we can go to and see the whole anointing like we did with the King David and stuff. But there is no record, there is no verifiable evidence of Jesus Christ ever being anointed by the Most High God as a king or as a priest. There was no evidence of Jesus Christ, aka Lucifer, building an altar and making sacrifices unto the Most High God. If he is a priest after the order of Melchizedek, why didn't he make any sacrifices, and why wasn't he a king? I tell you why. Because they are lying about Jesus Christ in the New Testament. That's why. Let's go back to Psalms 110. Psalms 110 and verse 5. The Lord at thy right hand shall strike through kings in the day of his wrath, because the Most High God promised that King David will rule, and there won't be two kings ruling at that time. Okay, over the Most High God's people. The Most High God is going to kill all the kings that would be trying to rule, because only King David is going to be the ruler. Psalms 110 and verse 6. He shall judge among the heathen. He's going to tear them heathens up. He shall fill the place with dead bodies. Who can hear that? Dead bodies. Dead bodies of who? The heathens. He shall wound the heads over many countries. Psalms 110 and verse 7. He shall drink of the brook in the way. Therefore shall he lift up the head. Now, we are right at the end here, but let's get one more verse so that you can clearly see that the Most High has sworn unto King David and not to Jesus Christ, aka Lucifer. The Most High don't say anything about Jesus Christ, aka Lucifer, at all. No promises, no swearing, no nothing. Let's go back to Psalms. Let's go to Psalm 132. And, before we read this, I just want to thank every one of our people, the children of Israel. I ain't talking to Christians. Ain't nobody even invite you to come on our channel. Okay? But I'm talking to my people, the children of Israel. I want to thank you guys on this beautiful, beautiful, beautiful Sabbath day. I'm going to thank you for studying this with me. And thank you for, subscribing to my channel and, just having a great time in the Most High, okay? Let's get Psalms chapter 132, and let's pick it up in verse 11. The Lord has sworn in truth unto David. Unto who? Unto David. Unto who? Unto David. He will not turn from it. Of the fruit of thy body will I set upon thy throne. Only your people, King David, will be upon the throne. And with that, I'm going to say on this beautiful, beautiful Sabbath day, I'm going to say, Shalom.